and this is in relation to the ongoing long-distance strike in KwaZulu-Natal. So the KwaZulu-Natal Premier Thami Ntuli and the Transport Minister, or MEC, Siboniso Duma, met with the long-distance taxi associations yesterday in a bid to end the ongoing strike. The strike, which has been ongoing for some time, has caused a widespread disruption across the province. The meeting aimed to address the permit disputes and the impact of Operation Shanyela on the taxi industry. Now let's get into the outcomes of yesterday's meeting with the Premier. Premier, very good morning to you. Thank you so much for making time for us this morning. So we understand with the meeting that was called that the taxi association that is actually striking, the Durban Long Distance Taxi Association, weren't part of the meeting. Would you say that the meeting was then futile?
No, not necessarily. The meeting wasn't futile because the consultation had to involve different parts. As much as I expected them to be present in the meeting, but while we were in a meeting, there was another work which was still being done to speak to some of the key people from the other part that were not part of the meeting. The minister, the MEC for Transport and Human Settlement, MEC Duma, gave an assurance that some meeting did take place. There would be, though, an open meeting like the one we had yesterday with the other part, which will also take place. But the yesterday meeting was important because the pronouncements by the taxi industry leaders we met yesterday, that they were even thinking of going there physical to the rank if the government had not to come and intervene. You know what happens when they do like that. So to avoid any thing that may find great conflict amongst themselves, because part of the people who are using the rank are saying, we don't have a problem, we want to work, we don't have a complaint. Then part of the people who are using the rank are saying, we have problems, we are having complaints. So we must, in fact, listen to the two sides. So I think the work that the MEC for Transport and the department is doing has to be given time so that we then agree that now we can go to an open meeting.
Yeah, but you must admit, Premier, that it becomes very difficult to find a solution, even through your own intervention, if the disputing party is not part of such a meeting.
Absolutely. It's not easy to find a solution in their absence. But my understanding was that before then the time comes for a meeting of that nature, which would include them, some engagements had to take, and according to the approach of the Transport Department, which I respected, because they have been resolving problems or challenges in the taxi industry in their own ways. So I'm of the view that we are going there to a point where it will end this strike.
Was there any indication why that taxi association wasn't part of the meeting? Did they give an explanation? Because it was open to all the associations that are part of the long distance and those that have issues.
Part of the challenges, I think, could be that the industry itself, there are elements of disunity, which we need to try and assist as government to end that disunity. That could be part of, it's not that they were not willing to meet government. Indeed, I want to believe that they do want to meet a government. Hence, the process which started.
But why weren't they part of the meeting, Premier? If they want to meet government, government has made this opportunity available. They even have the first citizen of the province being part of that meeting to show how seriously government is taking this issue. Why weren't they part of the meeting?
Yeah, the thing will be what I believe, according to what the MEC for Transport shared with me, is that at times they will not prefer to meet in the presence of the others. That could be the reason, not that it's because they do not want to meet us as government. I do not have their weight to say why they were not there, but I do have the information that the MEC, for example, suggested that at times, even the leaders of the chess industry who were present in the meeting, they said, even in meetings wherein there is no strike, they do not come to meet with them. That is what they raised as a concern. So I have a feeling, which developed from the meeting, that there is an element of disunity, which as government will need to find a way of making them to be united, to work together harmoniously.
Yeah. So the strike enters its second week today. What impact do you think this will have on the province, and whether you believe that a solution could be found before we hit slap bang right in the middle of the festive season where people are starting to travel?
Actually, we are working towards that. The Transport Department gave me an assurance that they will be expediting to ensure that they are attended, because our view is that we need to understand exactly where the problem is. When then we understand where the problem is, and then we find an amicable solution towards the problem. After that, we'll expect people then to abide with the law. But for now, it's an opportunity for engagement, which is aimed at ensuring that people do get the service again to travel. We know the impact is quite very unfortunate that we have this situation which affects not only the communities, even the economy, the outlook of the stability in the province. So it's something which requires us to handle it in a thorough way, at the same time trying to pace up in order to ensure that the situation is brought back into its normality.
Yeah, you touched a bit on the safety element a bit earlier on, Premier. So going forward, where you have the long distance taxi associations, the taxi rank that is being used, is there going to be security, police being on standby at that particular taxi rank? And then the other part is that for people who want to use alternative transport, whether it is the hiking or using buses, will you ensure that they are also kept safe and they're allowed to actually make those alternative decisions?
Yeah, I'm of the view that when the matter is resolved, there will be safety. But when circumstances, in fact, seems to prove that safety is not, in fact, there, then we will involve the provincial commissioner. Already, he assisted us at a time when there was a blockage in the N3. We will be bringing them on board to ensure that no one becomes a victim.